One of the biggest lies that artists believe today is that the more streams they have, the more successful you are. But streams don't build careers. Ownership does. Let's get into it. Listen, I go by the name of P the Politician, where I give game to independent artists who want careers and not just streams. So let's talk about it for a second. A lot of independent artists, they spend their time refreshing numbers, Spotify streams, YouTube views, social media likes. And when those numbers aren't moving, artists start to panic. But here's the truth. Those numbers don't always tell the real story, all right? So let's just do a little bit of math for a moment, all right? Streaming platforms like Spotify, they genuinely pay you somewhere around 3 to 5% per stream on average, right? So if your song gets 100,000 streams, you're looking at about $300 to $500. And that's before any splits, the producers you got to pay, the labels, the distributors, publishing. By the time everything gets divided, artists often end up with a fraction of that. So you can have a big number online and still feel broke. I want to bring up a female producer. I wish I knew her name, but she did work on Summer Walker's project, and she recently posted online, how successful that album was, and she's still working a 9 to 5. So, we're talking about a full-fledged industry product that's launched. And as a producer who worked on that product, you're still having to work a 9 to 5. So let's break it down and let's talk about something that's very important. Ownership. Now, what does ownership mean? Simply put, it means building a direct relationship with your audience. That can mean things like your own website, your own email list, your merch store, your own fan community. Because when you own the relationship with your fans, you control the opportunity. Streams are rented attention. Ownership is owned attention. So let's look at a different scenario, okay? Imagine that you have 100 real supporters who genuinely rock with your music. So for example, if you sell $30 in merch items to 100 fans, that's $3,000. If you sell a $10 EP download directly to those same 100 people, that's $1,000. If you create a $25 bundle, maybe music, merch, exclusive content, 100 supporters could generate you $2,500. That right there is the power of ownership. So at the end of the day, you got to realize streams are not the destination. They're just a signal. The real goal is building something sustainable around your music. A small group of real supporters will take you much further than a huge audience that never engages. So here's something that you can actually do this week. Create a home base for your music, a place where fans can find everything that you do. Start collecting direct contact with your supporters. Think email lists, community groups, things that you control. And step 3, give fans a way to support you directly. That could be through merch, exclusive content, bundles, direct downloads. Because here's the deal. The artists who build careers build systems, not just songs. Streams are cool, but they're not the scoreboard. Ownership is. Once again, I go by the name of P the Politician. Shouts out to my man Daniel J. Scott. He coined this phrase, don't get mad, get motivated. 1.